Winter here in Alaska is brutal. It's why Discovery Channel shows like Ice Road Truckers and Life Below Zero are so popular. Because in conditions this extreme, death is an ever-present danger. And here in a place like Tok, December temperatures don't even get above 0 degrees. And it's not uncommon to see as low as -60 or -70, which means it's a constant battle to stay warm. And if you've been following along, you know that being here for an Alaskan winter was not part of my plan. But if you're new here, let me quickly recap things for you. I'm Ben, and together with my dog Bandit, we're driving the Pan-American Highway in our 32-year-old troopy. I was planning to leave Alaska by early October, but an unexpected engine swap has me 2 months behind schedule, and I'm broken down again. So that brings us to today. It's mid-November, the temperatures are dropping, the snow is falling, and I'm freezing my butt off. My plan for this trip was to chase the good weather and avoid these harsh winter conditions, and things haven't gone according to plan, but that influenced this whole trip. The way I packed, I brought clothes for chilly fall weather, but not enough layers to survive in these conditions, and it influenced the way that I built the troopy. There's no diesel heater in the build. I didn't pack a portable diesel heater. But here in a week or so, we're gonna be back on the road, making our way through this weather as we chase those warmer temperatures, and we're still gonna have to survive. So here's how we're gonna do it. Now, while I wasn't totally prepared for this winter weather, luckily I was able to make it over to Anchorage, where they have 2 key stores that really helped me gear up. They've got an REI and a Bass Pro Shop, so I did a little shopping. Maybe the most important thing that I got over there in Anchorage from Bass Pro Shop is a new sleeping bag. This is the Cabela's Outfitter XL -20 degree sleeping bag. This thing is super comfortable. It's extra large for someone as big as me, and it is toasty. So I'm confident now in my sleep system between this and the Aeronaut quilt and the Enlightened Equipment quilt that I'm gonna be able to stay pretty warm overnight. The other important things I got at Bass Pro were some upgrades to my winter base layers. I got some thick wool socks that I have been wearing constantly, and some fleece-lined thermal layers, both on the top and the bottom. Those base layers have been making all of the difference as the temperatures keep getting colder. And so I'm super thankful to have been able to pick those up. And I think that, in addition to the rest of the sort of colder, chillier fall layering systems that I brought, should go a long way to keeping me warm. At REI, I added a key outer layer. What I was really missing in my clothing for these temperatures was a thick winter coat. This Fall Raven Skogso coat, I think I probably butchered that, was, I think, the best choice that they had at REI for my purposes. It's wind resistant, water resistant, so light rain and snow is no problem. It's got super thick filling, and the fit, even over all of the base layers and mid layers, is super comfortable. So I think that now I've got a clothing system between the base layers, my regular mid layers, and now that outer coat from Fall Raven that is really gonna keep me warm and dry regardless of the conditions that we encounter. Now, the last piece of kit that I added while I was at REI is one that I'm actually super excited about. It's this Ignik 12-volt topside heated blanket. I've been a longtime fan of everything that Ignik makes, from their gas growlers to their fire pits and hand warmers, and I'm really stoked on adding this to my winter camping accessories. Primarily because, being a 12-volt heated blanket, the power draw is pretty low. My 400 amp hours of power in the troopy is going to be more than enough to run this for multiple nights on end, and we're driving in between and have our solar system. So I'm not worried about being able to power a 12-volt heated blanket. It certainly isn't the key to survival in temperatures like this. That is what the -20 sleeping bag is for. But a product like this is really just that comfort item that's going to make surviving in these conditions just that much nicer. It's enough to take the chill out of the sleeping bag right before you climb in at night and give you that little extra cushion of warmth to just really keep you warm and cozy all night long. So I'm stoked to get this and include it in the troopy as we start making our way down. One thing that I really like about this compared to some of the like Amazon 12-volt blankets too, those usually come terminated with just a cigarette adapter. This one actually comes with a barrel jack on the end of the main cable and has some adapter accessories. So I'm going to be able to take one of those adapter accessories, wire it permanently into my 12-volt system, and then use the barrel jack for when I'm in the troopy. I can plug it in and heat it up. I can take it next to the campfire with me with a Goal Zero or something like that. So it stays a lot more versatile than one would if I had to hardwire it in directly from a single cable. And I also really like the size of this. It really is the perfect size to just lay in the sleeping bag and take the chill off. I think they have been pretty smart with how they thought through and designed this. Now, with the addition of the better base layers, a better outer layer, a heavier duty sleeping bag, and my little comfort item, the 12-volt heated blanket, I am pretty confident in our ability to safely and comfortably camp our way home through the rest of Alaska, Yukon, BC, and the Pacific Northwest as winter continues to roll in. The one question that I still am sort of kicking around in my mind actually relates to the troopy itself. Everyone up here in Alaska runs block heaters through the winter, and for good reason. It's a lot of excess wear and tear on your motor to start it up with super cold, extra viscous oil, and I definitely want to avoid that extra wear and tear on my brand new motor. So I'm trying to work out a solution that is maybe a block heater plugged directly to the inverter inside the troopy, or some other solution that will prevent that excess wear and tear. I'm not totally sure if it's necessary because I'm only going to be doing this for 2 or maybe 3 weeks before I hit more mild weather. But if you've got any ideas or think I should go one way or the other on this, I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below. And finally, just to head off any comments you may be typing up out there already, I do know that this trip would be so much more comfortable with a diesel heater. There's a reason everyone's putting them in their builds or picking them up for winter camping right now. It's because they work. You get really great dry heat with not a lot of power draw, and it's super user friendly. Hindsight is 2020, and I'm definitely kicking myself for not including one in the build, especially when I had one sitting right there in the garage. But trade-offs had to be made, and it's an optimization problem with the space available in the troopy and what I thought I was going to encounter on this trip. So if anyone knows where I can pick one up in Alaska or Yukon or BC, I would be more than happy to spend money on a portable one now, but Amazon won't ship them up here. I can't find any retailer who can get one to the interior of Alaska in any sort of reasonable time frame, and that means we're just gonna have to make do. But with our new setup, I'm feeling super confident in our ability to camp our way through Alaska and the Yukon and BC safely and comfortably as we make our way to warmer temperatures. The troopy should be back on the road here in the next week or two. We've just got to get the head back from Fairbanks, where it's getting completely overhauled, decking the surfaces, dipping it in a hot tank, doing a valve job, and then we should be in really good shape. So make sure to subscribe and stick around if you want to see us put this new gear to the use in real winter camping conditions up here. And like this video if you enjoy what we're doing. It's a huge help. But as always, thanks for being here. And until next time, get out and explore somewhere. Come here, bud.